On the Rick the Lie Show, I have to remember that it's not all about just reviewing the fresh big name releases like Slow Tie, Steven Wilson and Rivers Cuomo's Magic School Bus, but half the excitement comes from finding some treasure in the vast sea of independent and lesser acknowledged music releases, throwing the album cover onto a moderately humiliating thumbnail and hoping that it reaches at least one pair of ears that would best appreciate them. So here you go, Sally Pilgrim's self-titled album, cracking right out of the gate with drums reminiscent of Led Zepp's Immigrant Song. But instead of releasing energy from her heart out to the world, it's inviting energy from the world back into her heart. Sally Pilgrim featuring the world. It's powerful, hearing that already on track 1 we get Sally straining her voice with a note long and fierce enough to be a Flo Milli hairpiece. She yells them not just at the clouds but into them, like casting a magic spell in the shape of a high five to God. He probably won't return it, but he might dig the sounds anyways. Sally Pilgrim is fine retro, calling back to the piping hot age of bluesy rock in the American heartland, though more genuine Springsteen than the Killers doing a pub tribute act version of Springsteen, yet it also subsequently reminds me of the Beatles in 90s indie slacker rock, and overall sounds like the kind of uppity singer-songwriter tunes that'd soundtrack an 80s coming-of-age film directed by John Hughes, which kind of displaces it historically and allows it to occupy its own special little thriving space, where it's simply Sally Pilgrim as Sally Pilgrim. What captures my heart is the tasteful rawness of the recording. Every instrument is crisp in the air, especially the drums, which on listen give the sense that the song is one tick away from exploding. While that song passionately opens its heart to the audience listening, the sullen foreigner later on in the track listing admits that they've never been gifted that opportunity to feel at ease with themselves. This followed on by track number 8, Sally Pilgrim by Sally Pilgrim, from the album Sally Pilgrim, the blossoming moment of the album complete with jovial banjo and friendly hand claps. A transformative album, not about changing but rearranging, is the emotional crest, the souffle rise if you will. The song is cleansing, like ripping a band-aid off or peeling away a face mask, with a melody that brings a similar bliss to hearing fives keep on moving in an unprompted context. It's such a distinctly moving moment that I wonder if the middle chunk of the album almost feels like a buffer before that big break-in. It doesn't change that it's the kind of songwriting that makes you want to write songs. Sally Pilgrim, the album, doesn't even register as a debut, but as a prequel to Sally Pilgrim. The journey only truly begins about 26 minutes into the LP, and before that is just a warming get-to-know show, making you drop your Zoomer plaque and remember that the classic stuff is worshipped for a reason, and not just because Dad has the loudest voice at the dinner table.